Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dr. Sanamia Boy, and today we're doing Netflix You Season 4 review. So let's get started. Now, Joe Goldberg, Penn Bagley, serial killer and narrator of the series, he faked his death in season 3 and murders his wife Love Quinn, abandons his son Henry with a gay couple, and he follows Marianne to France as he can't live without her steamy chemistry and touchy literary connection. You Season 4 shows Joe Goldberg, Penn Bagley, reintroducing himself under a new identity and now acting as a teacher named Professor Jonathan Moore in UK. It was released in 2 parts on Netflix, as the first part narrative is completely different from the second. The days of unrequited love and longing are over. Another quote of Joe Goldberg. Joe's literary student Nadia, Amy Lee Hickman, with her love of genre, storytelling, and high aspirations in the first part of the season, helps him uncover the psychology of the serial killer in the murder mystery. She's a smart, opinionated woman, a keen observer, and confidant in Joe's new literary world. You've got it. I've got a thing for stalking and murder. This has nothing to do with wanting to help you. Another quote of Joe Goldberg. Joe claims to focus on academics and stay away from his extracurricular activities, but old habits die hard, as he's quickly lured into stalking his neighbor, Kate Galvin, this time played by Charlotte Ritchie. Now, Kate Galvin, played by Charlotte Ritchie, is a focused, ambitious, smart and independent woman. She is a gallerist, an art lover, and has never been married. And she appears to be the daughter of Greta Galvin, a free-spirited 90s model who's now a spiritual stylist in Ibiza. So, I know what I'm like. I don't let people in. It simply isn't worth it, except for when it is. Another quote for Calvin. Now, Tom Lockwood. Now, Kate's father, Tom Lockwood, Greg Kinnear, is an activist investor, a corporate raider, and there isn't any industry that he hasn't had his hands on. He's one of the most powerful men in the world, and Kate's family is more wealthy than anyone in her social circle. Her father makes profits by destroying workers' lives for shareholder profits, cleansing off a CEO's record of sexual assault, or paid to have well-water toxicity reports falsified, which resulted in several children getting cancer, and the company made pound 400 million. She cut off contact with him and changed her last name when she was just 20 years old, and although he continues to force himself into her life in many ways, she tries to avoid him as much as she can. Your past doesn't scare me, it can't be worse than mine. Another quote from Kate Calvin. Kate has very little online presence. She dedicates her accounts only to her work. Joe is obsessed with her, but she has a boyfriend, Malcolm Stephen Hagen. Now, Malcolm Harding, Stephen Hagen. He's a literature professor born to privilege, loves partying and drugs, socializing with the London's elite crowd. He's an extrovert who befriends Joe at the university, and since Joe stalks and saves his brilliant girlfriend Kate from an ambush, gets invited to his friend Adam's Lucas Cage Club, the Sundry House. It's a privileged club with royal members, and thus Joe gets acquainted with Malcolm's close social circle. You see, my family is practically royal. Royal adjacent anyway. Malcolm Harding. Another interesting character is Lady Phoebe, played by Tilly Keeper. Now, who is Lady Phoebe? Lady Phoebe is an aristocratic socialite with an avid fan base, and she's part of Malcolm's elite social circle. With her friends, she's sweet and kind and more like a cheerleader for her entrepreneur American boyfriend Adam, played by Lucas Cage. Kate protects her like a true friend, and even though she's emotionally distant with others. Now, Adam had a few kinks that pointed to him being homosexual, but he kept it as a secret, and he was drawn to Phoebe's limitless fortune. A psychotic, delusional woman named Dawn kidnaps Phoebe, but Joe saves her. Now, Lady Phoebe is a social media icon, therefore she has admirers and stalkers. She needed therapy to deal with her trauma, but instead she marries her bankrupt, gay, and greedy boyfriend, Adam, blinded by her delusional fairy tale. After marriage, she realizes her mistake and roams around the streets drugged and intoxicated. Now, Kate admits Phoebe to the hospital and, by mistake, tells her father, Tom Lockwood, about Phoebe and her precious husband, Adam. Now, Reese Montrose. Reese Montrose is Edward John Spillers, and the split personality of Joe Goldberg is in the physical form of main antagonist of season 4, Reese Montrose, played by English actor Edward John Spillers. Now, he's actually an altercation of Joe, a representation of every dark thought and impulse the killer has. So, Reese is part of Joe, willing to kill anyone who crosses him and who lies to get what he wants. In reality, he's a British author and London mayoral candidate who grew up in poverty with an unstable single mother, but later discovering that he was the son of a duke, attending Oxford University and rising to success and fame by his acclaimed memoir. Now, Brits are the most literary people on earth. They really read here. Now, another quote of Joe Goldberg. Brits are the most literary people on earth. They really read here. I don't just mean read, but read cover to cover. Another quote of Joe Goldberg. Now, a drive around the Greater London area to dump body parts in sewage pipes and River Thames is not how I plan to sightsee. So much for Jonathan doing better. Now, Reese apparently texts Joe an app threatening to implicate Joe in the murders. Now, the twist in You Season 4 Part 1 with the mystery serial killer is unique, exciting, and unpredictable. Part 2 is more like a confirmation of Joe's delusions and madness as he forgets Marianne, his once true love, being locked up in a cage without food. I let you go to show you I'm not what you think, I'm not a killer. Another quote from Joe Goldberg. And then Joe experiences a psychotic break when he's haunted by all his diseased ex-girlfriends who he killed in the past. The hallucinations feel real as Beck and Love make him face the nightmare of his reality. Why is this my pattern? Fall for a moment, whole corpses together. I need to go back to therapy. Another quote of Joe Goldberg. Nadia is suspicious about Joe as Don being the eat the rich killer doesn't add up, so she investigates Joe's office and finds a key. She tracks Joe's movements, which leads her to an abandoned warehouse next to Joe's go-to Indian takeout restaurant. She finds an imprisoned Marianne in the glass cage vault. Nadia finds out the truth about Joe and they both devise a plan to free her. Season 4U is about London-based authentic writers and readers, quick-witted, brash, elite influencers, exclusive clubs and bars, and haughty aristocrats with overt use of British slang. So the horrific murders continue in the bustling city of London as Joe experiences a psychotic breakdown and hallucinations. He ends up killing an innocent man due to his delusions. He's a threat to the normal society and anyone who crosses him or even inspires him, as in the case of Reese. To survive, Joe accept his madness and believe his lies. I did it. Fell in with the most troubled people on earth. No way out but through. Joe Goldberg. Another quote. Narration, script, acting, and the twists make You Season 4 a binge-worthy thriller. Rating, I would say 10 out of 10. So that's it. Hope to see you soon.